All right, so we're finding a side of a right triangle here. SOHCAHTOA. Which trig function, we have to figure out which one we're going to use based on the sides that we know and are trying to figure out, which are O and A. So which of those three uses O and A? TOA, right? Tangent is equal to O over A. So we are going to use the tangent function. So what you're going to do, you're going to write tan for tangent. Now, remember in your calculator, what does it automatically do when you hit the tan button? It gives you a parenthesis because it's telling you it's tangent of something. And that's always an angle measure. Just like at the top of your notes, see how the angle goes next to the tangent? So which angle are we going by on this one? The 15-degree angle. So tangent of 15 degrees is equal to TOA, T-O-A. So O over A. It's in the order that TOA is spelled. So which one's going to go on top of the fraction? O over A would be 10.2 over A is X. That's what we're trying to figure out. Now this was in the video. Do you remember seeing it? There were two scenarios. If X is up high, we know we need to multiply. Remember hearing that? If X is down below, X and the angle will switch, is what it said. So let's go back to Algebra 1 for a second. Let's say that I had 2 equals 4 over x. Can I solve for x if it's in the denominator of a fraction? No, we can't. We need x up on ground level in the numerator so that x equals something, right? So how would I undo divided by x? We'd multiply x, right? So if we multiply both sides times x, these cancel. That's a multiplication po, right? So now we have 2x equals 4. So now x is on the right side, but now how do I get x by itself if it's multiplied by a 2? Divided underneath. So what did x and 2 just do? It just switched spots. They didn't cancel out, they're still there. They just switched spots. X got multiplied up, and 2 got divided down. Does that make sense? So now if I divide by 2, what does x equal? 4 over 2, which is 2, right? We're going to do that same thing. We're just going to do it with our trig functions. Tan of 15 is just a number, right? Like in my calculator, if I got out tan of 15, and make sure you're in degree mode, I can do tan of 15 degrees, and I get 0.27-ish. It's just a number, just like any other number in the world. So just like any other number in the world, I can multiply tangent, I can divide it, I can add it, I can subtract it. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take tangent and x, and they're going to switch spots. X is going to get multiplied to the left, and tan of 15 is going to get divided underneath. So my final answer here will be x equals, so x is on the left now, right? Did 10.2 move at all? No, 10.2 stays on top, divided by tangent of 15. So the only thing that happened is x came to the left, and tan of 15 went underneath. And now can you see how x is solved by itself? So now in your calculator, you just type it in. That's what's awesome about trig is most of it you just throw in your calculator. So real quick, triple check. Make sure your mode says degrees or you're going to get the wrong answer. And then type in 10.2 divided by tangent of 15. And let's get in the habit of closing our parentheses. It doesn't matter in this case, but if something were to come after that, and it will later on, we'll want to close your parentheses. So 10.2 divided by tan of 15 is? Now it says round to the nearest hundredth. So if we're rounding to the second decimal place, we have to look at the third one. And it's a 6, so what do we have to do? Round it up. So our final answer will be 38.07. So BC equals 38.07 feet. We just use trig to find a side. Just type it in. I just did it. Now that we know that this is 38.07, could we now find the third side of the right triangle? Yeah, we could actually use the Pythagorean theorem now if we wanted to, right? We could use Pythagorean theorem, 10.2 squared plus 38.07 squared equals c squared, and then solve it for c. Or we could actually do trig again, right? So if I call this x now, and I know O, and I'm trying to find H, which trig function uses O and H? Sine. Yes, sine is how so, S-O-H. So we could use sine to do that again. Okay, so now I'm going to do one more with you, and I'm going to have you do one on your own. So starting off, we're trying to find QR. So put an X on that side. So second step, label what you know and what you're trying to find out, which is X. So from, which angle do we know? 63. We're never going to use the right angle. We're going to use the 63. So from angle P, what is 12.9? It is the side that is across from the right angle.
Oh, hypotenuse.
It's the hypotenuse. We should know that by now. We shouldn't even have to think about that. Okay? And X, is X right next to angle P? No, so we call that the opposite side. It's all the way across the triangle. So O is what X is. We don't know the adjacent side, and we're not trying to figure it out, so don't care about A. Okay? So which function uses O and H? Sine. So, right? S-O-H. So we are going to use the sine function. So sine of what? 63 is equal to, now sine is equal to O over H. So which one's O? And the hypotenuse we know is 12.9. Now this one's even easier. In the song it said, if X is up high, we know we need to multiply. In other words, how do we get X by itself if it's divided by 12.9? Oh, we just need to multiply to the other side and we're done. So this 12.9 is just going to get multiplied over to here. So then we'll have 12.9 times sine of 63 is equal to, now X is by itself. If you multiply the 12.9 over. So multiplication Po. So this time in your calculator, you don't have to do this each time. Yours will stay in degree mode, but every time I open my program, it puts it back. So now you just have to type in 12.9 times the sine of 63. Get in the habit of closing your parentheses. How long is QR? 11.49. So QR equals 11.49. Give it some units. Centimeters. Okay, this time we're finding the length of FD. I want you to do this one all on your own. Whole thing. Set it up, figure out which function you're going to use, and solve it. We've done the only two scenarios. That's it. It's either up high and you multiply, or you do a little switcheroonie and switch the denominator with the sine or cosine or tangent. Okay, so go ahead and do this one on your own. So given that we're trying to find FD, I know that that is the hypotenuse. It is across from the right angle. And 20 is right next to 39. What do we call that? It's the adjacent. So now we think back to so, ka, A-H, ka, toa. Which three of those uses A-H? Cosine, C. So cosine of 39 is equal to A over H is 20 over x. So be double, triple, quadruple check. Make sure you get the right trig function, because if you do everything else right, but you accidentally put sine or tangent instead, you're going to get the wrong answer. So double, triple check. Make sure you have the right. How many of you had the wrong one? Be honest. Yeah, so you got to be a little bit more careful, because you might have done everything else right, but you did that first step wrong, and it's going to be a wrong answer. Okay, so now, which scenario is this? Yeah, x needs to be multiplied up, and the cosine needs to be divided down. So if x is down below, x and the angle will switch, is what the song says. So x goes to the left, 20 stays where it is, cosine of 39 goes to the bottom, and that can be typed into your calculator. $25.74. What you got? Awesome. So FD equals 25.74 meters. That is your final answer. See if you can draw a picture of this. Kind of read it. See if you can draw a little picture of the scenario and see what it's trying to find you. And we'll see if it kind of matches mine here in a second. So here's the horizontal ground. The horizontal railway goes up 25.6 degree angle. And in total, you rise 0.9 kilometers. So it's asking me, how long is the railway? So now we just need to figure out which trig function we're going to use. So what is 0.9 opposite? And what am I trying to find out? What is x? That is the hypotenuse. It is across from that right angle. So it is sine. Good job. So sine of? Perfect. Is equal to, it does matter which one's on top of it. It has to be in the order that sine is spelled. S equals O over H. So O is 0.9 over H is x. Which scenario is this? It's another switch. X is on bottom. It's going to switch to the left. Sine gets divided underneath. So therefore, x equals 0.9 divided by sine of 25.6. So therefore, x equals, is that what you guys got? So I'm going to open my calculator up. 2.08. And what comes after the 8? Okay, so we're good there. So 2.08 kilometers is our final answer.